Well, I could say that this was a surprise, but nothing is a surprise from the Trump administration. And there have been many signals that this meeting might, in fact, not take place. But just a short time ago, the president issuing a letter on White House letterhead, in fact, calling this meeting off. And I got to read our viewers some of this letter because it's pretty pointed. He said, sadly, based on tremendous anger and open hostility displayed in your most recent statement, I feel it's inappropriate at this time to have this long planned meeting. The letter goes on to talk about the possibility of a future meeting. He continues by saying, someday I look very much forward to meeting you. In the meantime, I want to thank you for the release of the hostages. They are now home with their families. The president going on to let Kim Jong-un know that if you change your mind having to do with the most important summit, please do not hesitate to call or write me. This, of course, takes place after North Korea issued some pretty harsh criticism of Vice President Mike Pence, calling him stupid. Mike Pence recently referred to the idea that the Libya model may be used in North Korea when it comes to denuclearization of that nation. That's something that Kim Jong-un specifically signaled that he would not be welcoming. Pence choosing to sort of issue a warning that that could happen, that setting off the North Koreans, that, Aicha, leading President Donald Trump to call this meeting off.
And Tatiana, what were the top factors that led up to this point?
Yeah, this has been a bit of a roller coaster of a ride when it comes to setting up this meeting and whether or not it was going to take place. And it all started around Easter weekend. That is when President Trump dispatched Mike Pompeo, who was then head of the CIA, to North Korea. The world didn't know about that meeting until well after it happened, when those pictures were released. Trump then tweeted that the meeting would be happening on June 12th. And the day that President Trump backed out of the Iran nuclear deal, he also made news saying that Mike Pompeo, who had just been sworn in as the Secretary of State, was on his way to North Korea to again meet with Kim. At that point, we know that Pompeo came back with 3 American hostages. The South Korean foreign minister the following week or several days later came to Washington to meet with Pompeo to strategize about how this June 12th meeting between Trump and Pompeo would happen. Then we know that Kim canceled a meeting between North Korea and South Korea. Kim was concerned about these joint military exercises that were taking place between the United States and South Korea. They were pre-scheduled. They always happen, but Kim referred to them as sort of practice for invasion of his nation. President Trump then called President Moon of South Korea over the weekend to try to figure out why Kim was sending what the president called different signals to him versus to South Korea about his assuredness that this meeting would, in fact, take place. And then we know earlier this week, President Moon and President Trump met here in Washington for more strategy. And here we are today, Aicha, this meeting called off.
And is this a blow for Trump diplomacy, Tatiana?
That's really hard to say. President Trump makes moves of his own accord. He could see this as a bargaining chip. He could see this as a blow to his administration. This is something that we'll surely find out more about as the president and his cabinet start speaking about what's going on here. But again, President Trump's strategy across many areas, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's denuclearization, is something that the world doesn't know a lot about. The president uses a lot of tactics, but what the overarching umbrella strategy is, it's just hard to say, and I think it's hard to say in this case as well.